there's stages that people go through, stages of abandonment. I think you call it swirl. Can we explain that to the people?
Yes, SWIRL is an acronym. It stands for shattering, withdrawal, internalizing, rage, and lifting. And the acronym kind of describes the way you go through it. You swirl through those stages within an hour, within a week, within a year. And when you hit an abandonment trigger in adulthood, you swirl through the stages. Or in childhood, you swirl, but you're not in touch with, you can't describe it as well. But the shattering part is where the connection feels threatened, and it feels as if the rug has been pulled out from underneath you. Well, you stood there waiting for your step parent to pick you up if he ever did. You know, you were shattered. That was shattering. Then in withdrawal is where, oh, please hurry up and come pick me up. Oh, please. It's where you yearn for your lover, or if you've been fired from a job, you yearn to get that security back, to be appreciated, to be valued as an employee. If you've lost your health, you know, you yearn to have your health back, to go back to the way it was before, when you felt whole and healthy, you know, whatever it is that you've lost that makes you feel as if the rug has come out from underneath you, you yearn for it back. You're in withdrawal. And then internalizing is the very next phase. You kind of overlap into these phases. You blame it on yourself. Well, it's my fault. It's because I always knew that I wasn't special. I always knew there was something wrong with me. I always knew I wasn't worthy. I always knew that somebody would throw me away, or whatever it is. So the internalizing is where the wound of abandonment gets infected with shame and low self-esteem. It causes scarring in your self-esteem. It's a very critical stage of the wounding, because you're taking a beating out on yourself. You're taking the rejection and you're taking it out on yourself. It's really a kind of rage taken out on the self, and causes a reduction of self-esteem and an increase in shame. And then you feel angry. That's the rage phase. You kind of overlap into, wait a minute, it's not all my fault. And then you kind of repudiate the person who has left you on the street corner, or the person who has fired you or rejected you, or whatever, the doctor who had the unmitigated gall to say that you were sick, and so forth. You stand up and you say, no, I refuse to accept this. It's not my fault. And it's a very uncomfortable stage of the process, because your anger is not comfortable. It's not like, yay, I'm finally angry. It's terribly uncomfortable. And it can be very chronic. People can stay agitated for a very long time. But then after the rage is sort of projected outward, there's a chance for lifting, for letting life pull you back out. So you go from shattering, withdrawal, internalizing rage, and then lifting out into life again, and then back into, oh, but I've lost my job. What am I going to do? And then, oh, I wish I had it. And then it's my fault. And then, no, it isn't. And then back out into lifting. You keep going through these stages over and over, cycling through.